Hi everyone, today we will learn what is flow in Salesforce. In Salesforce, flow are powerful automation tool that allow user to collect, update, create and manage data with little to no code. Flows are used to guide users through specific process or task, automate repetitive action and enhance user experience by making systems smarter. Think of flow as step by step instructions that tell Salesforce what to do based on the user's input or action. Okay, what is a flow in Salesforce? A flow is an automation tool that helps streamline business process by performing actions such as creating record, updating data, sending email, asking user for information. Flow are a core feature of Salesforce Flow Builder and can be configured without needing deep programming skills. So by flow, you can create record, delete record, and send email and do many things without and deep knowledge of programming skills. Type of flow in Salesforce: screen flow, record triggered flow, schedule triggered flow, auto launch flow, platform event trigger flow. So let's discuss more. What is screen flow? A screen flow is an interactive flow that requires user input through a series of screens. This type of flow is ideal when you need to guide users through a process, collect information, or make decision based on a user input. Key feature: user interaction. Screen flow involves the user directly. It can display data, ask for input, and show result dynamically. Screen: you can design screen with field button and option that allow user to provide data or make decision. Example: selecting options from drop down or text inputs. So screen is basically we are giving a form like a feedback form or a form where we required customer input, some fields provided: name, initials, address, drop down for state Haryana, kind of fields available. We have created a form for the customer, or other kind of screens also, like after submitting completing the form, when customer submit, then customer will see a thank you screen or any screen which we are presenting to customer. So you can design screen with field button or options that allow user to provide data or make decision. Ideal use case: data entry form is kind of collecting user response in a guide process, sales process that require user involvement at each stage. Example: a screen flow could be used to guide a support agent through a series of questions, as I mentioned, questions to determine the root cause of a customer issue, which each screen presenting a question and accepting input. Example: text field pick list. So we are providing multiple, we can provide a form, multiple pages should be could be there. On each page there are multiple fields available, and we require customer feedback or inputs required on that form. At the end, when customer submit the form, then presenting the screen to customer, that thank you screen will come to customer. So this is screen. So let's see another. As we discussed, screen flow we have done. Record trigger flow. What is record trigger flow? A record trigger flow is an automation tool that runs in the background. So screen flow is an interactive flow that requires user input through a series of screen. Record trigger flow is an automation tool that run in the background when a specific record is created, updated, or deleted in Salesforce. So this record trigger flow is an automation tool. Okay, we provide input in the backend, and it runs in backend. It's whenever it flow this trigger, then record could be created, updated, or deleted in the Salesforce. This flow does not require user interaction and is useful for automating process in response of the process to data changes. Automatic execution: it trigger automatically based on a records changes, create, update, or delete. No user interaction required here. It operates behind the scene, automatically executed and specified action. As we mentioned, there is no user intervention not required, automatically executing in specified action. and you can set criteria that must be met for the flow to trigger. You just need to set the criteria, so in backend it will automatically run. Automating record update when specified field are changed. Automatically record will update when that specific criteria will met. Sending notification or email when a record reach a certain status. Example, sending an email when opportunity status is closed. So suppose there are record when status will change as a close from open to close, then automatically one email will send to specific task to specific person. Creating related record when certain condition are met. Example, creating a task when new lead is created. When new lead will create, a task will also create. So as mentioned above, create, update or delete. Example, a record trigger flow could be set up to automatically update the status field on an opportunity when its stage is changed, or create a follow-up task for a sales representative when an opportunity reach a certain stage. Schedule trigger flow. A scheduled trigger flow allow you to schedule a flow to run automatically at a specific time or frequency. So it will schedule, we schedule by daily, monthly, as per requirement. We schedule a flow, so we will receive a required input. This is useful for periodic tasks like daily data processing, regular update, or batch notification. Time-based execution. The flow runs on a schedule basis, which could be daily, weekly, or monthly, or anything. No user input required in this also. So user interaction is not required, like the record trigger flow. This runs automatically without user interaction. Flexible schedule. You can set the flow to trigger on specific date or interval. Periodical tasks such as sending output report or reminder can be possible. Performing batch update, example, updating record based on the date field. So a record will update on specific date or time as per requirement. Generating and sending reminders to user whenever required, like follow-up reminders or overdue task. A scheduled trigger flow might be used to send out monthly performance report to manager or automatically update record that have not been modified in the last 30 days. Auto launched flow. An auto launch flow run in the background and does not require user interaction also. So only screen for required user interaction, that's it. Rest other not required user interaction. It can be triggered by other process such as Apex, process builder, record trigger flow, and can perform automated tasks such as creating, updating, or deleting record. Background automation. It operates without user interaction and can run with when triggered by other tools or event. No screen. Unlike screen flow, auto launch flow don't involve screen for user input. Idle use case. Automating backend process that don't require a user interface. Triggering logic when certain conditions are met. Running in conjunction with other Salesforce automation tool. Example, an launch flow might be used to automatically update a custom field in a record when a related record is created or updated, or it might be used to generate and send notification based on specific criteria. Summary of this, each type of flow is designed to address different needs in the Salesforce automation. So selecting the right one depend on the nature of the task and whether user interface interaction is required. So flow, screen flow, manual start by user. So one screen will be there and it start by user only. Yes, user interaction required. Collecting data, guiding user through process form. Record trigger flow, record creation, update or deletion, as we discussed already. It is user intervention not required. Automating process based on changes to the record. Updating email alert. Schedule trigger flow. It's also not required user intervention. Schedule time or interval. Periodic task, batch update, regular notification or report. Auto launch flow trigger by another process, example Apex and process builder, user intervention not required. Backend background automation, data processing trigger by other event. So let's discuss some element. There are some elements in the Salesforce. So if you see, these are elements. Toolbar, in toolbar these are elements. These elements is most important. We require these elements whenever we will create any flow. So these elements will be required. Okay, so let's discuss this also. So we'll where time of creating a flow, we will not face any issue. Flow in Salesforce are composed of various elements, each of which serves a different purpose. Screen, a step where the user can enter or view data. For example, a screen could ask for a customer's name and address. So we will create this in future. Create record, a step where new record are created in Salesforce. Update record, a step where existing record are updated. Delete record, a step for removing record from Salesforce. Get record, a step that retrieves record from Salesforce based on certain criteria. Example, fetching all account data, accounts that belongs to specific reason. Okay, so if you will see, these are create, update, get record, delete record, screen, as we discussed. Decision, a step where the flow evaluates condition and make choice. For example, checking if a deal amount is greater than $10,000 and taking difference action based on the result. So this is decision element. Loop, a step that allow a flow to process multiple record one by one. A step that allow the flow to process multiple record one by one, like updating server records at once. Assignment, a step where you can assign value to variable. Example, storing user input in a variable for use later. Action, a step where the flow can call external action like sending an email. Apex, so I believe all we are able to recognize, except few could be doubt, like decision, assignment, loop, we can could be doubt. So we will discuss more on this. There are loop, assignment, decision, the important topics we have taken, element we have taken. So let's say decision element. A decision element in a flow is like a crossroad where you have to choose which path to take based on a condition or question. Think of it as when you are trying to decide whether to bring an umbrella. You look outside and ask, is it raining? If yes, you took the umbrella. If no, you leave it at home. So decision element is based on the yes no criteria, like so if this condition met yes, then this should happen. If not, then this should happen. In a flow, a decision element check if something is true or false, and then it directs the process down one path or another based on that condition. So it depends on condition. It is the temperature below 30 degree. If yes, then you wear a jacket. If no, you wear a t-shirt. A decision element is a point where flow asks a question, and depending on the answer, it decide that what to do next. It's like making a choice based on a condition. So hope now it's understand. Assignment element, an assignment element is like putting a value into a box. Once the value is in the box, you can use it later. In simple term, it's where you store a piece of information for future use. Let's take example. Let's say you are tracking your points in a game. Every time you earn a point, you assign the new score to a point box. Every time you get more points, you update the box with a new score. For example, you start with 0 point. After scoring 5 point, you update your score box to 5. Later, if you score 3 more points, you update the score to 8. So hope now it's understand also. So saving some value for the future, putting that value till not required, putting a value into a box. So this is called assignment element. Flow, a flow loop is like repeating an action over and over until something specific happen. Think of it as a routine that continue until a condition is met. So something we want, criteria should be still not complete. The process should be repeat over and over until something specific happen. Okay, example, imagine you have a task of checking if a fruit in a basket is ripe. You look at each fruit one by one. After checking a fruit, you either move to the next one or stop if you find a ripe fruit. In programming, this could like this: start checking the first fruit. Is the fruit ripe? If yes, stop. If no, move to the next one. Repeat until you find a ripe fruit, or check all fruit. In this example, you are repeating and the checking action until the condition is met. The flow loop keeps going until the goal is reached. Hope now we understand this. A decision element. A decision element in a flow is like a crossroad where you have to select a path based on condition math. I believe we have done this. Yes. How flow work? User input. In a screen flow, user provide input through screen logic and decision. The flow use decision element to evaluate condition and logic, automate action based on user input or other condition. The flow can take action like creating record, updating information, or sending notification. Completion. The flow ends once all action are completed and user may be shown a confirmation message, or the flow could automatically transition to another process. Benefit using flow: no code needed, improve efficiency, custom user experience, no reduction, better data management. When to use flow? Flow are best used when you want to. Whenever you want, you can add flow as per requirement. Guide user through a series of steps. Example: filling out form, providing assistance, automate repetitive process, automatically assigning task or sending mail, handle complex business logic, interact with multiple Salesforce record at once. Conclusion: Salesforce Flow are incredibly versatile and powerful tool that automate business process, improve data accuracy, and create a more seamless user experience. Whether you are automating simple tasks or creating complex multiple step processes, Flow allow you to streamline operation and empower your Salesforce user to work more efficiently. So hope we understood now flow and elements. Thank you everyone.